Thank you. Well.
Well, good afternoon and a warm welcome to Sjusjøen for the 2026 Open European Championships and the women's 15-kilometer individual competition. Today they'll be going around this course 5 times 3 kilometers with a height difference of 30 meters and a big climb, which when they round this section and past the checkpoint, here's the biggest climb on the track, which is a bit winding and brutal. We don't get to see it, but you certainly get to see the implications when the biathletes have to come into the range and control their breathing. Minus 13 degrees Celsius. It is very, very cold and it's humid as well, meaning that there was a bit of snowfall earlier and it remains to be seen whether it actually got faster, the track, as the day went on, and therefore the later starters having something of an advantage. There's no altitude here. 729 meters. I say no altitude. There's not much, nothing that will bother these athletes, not nearly as much as the cold temperatures will. And dressing up warm is going to be one of the main priorities, keeping the fingers warm. And leading it out today, we have Paula Boutet of France, one of today's favorites, and also the leader of the overall Women's IBU Cup total score with 772 points over Galmas Paulin, who is in second place with 668 points. Going down the start order, we have Emma Nielsen, who's leading the individual points on the IBU Cup and therefore a big contender for today. Marlene Fichtner down wearing bib number 30. And although she's lower in the ranks, she has been racing on the World Cup and therefore not being exposed to all the races here. And Voldy Galmas Paulin of France, wearing bib number 35. One of the ones to look out for today. Who can take a victory in this race? Amandine Mongeon of France, another one of the contenders who could really perform well. Emily Kalkenberg, another one who can do well on home snow. And 51, we have Marika Braun of Germany, who's been racing on the IBU Cup. Didn't finish in Arbor, despite hitting all the targets in the sprint. Coming back from that for 7th place in the Mass Start 60. A great race, which bring on that being brought to World Cup. So much excitement and unpredictability. I think that's what we love about this sport. Further down now, we have wearing bib number 69, Spark. She is one to look out for. Isabella Moon of Australia. For those watching overseas, far and wide. And Barbara Strobrysewska of Poland, another name worth keeping an eye out for. And Carpella of Italy wearing bib 108. Selina Mari Castle 112, 112. One of the later starters who will draw our attention to see if she can cause an upset. But Nordqvist wearing bib number 82, she's one of the last ones who we can expect to see something of a top 10 upset, supposing the targets go down. And beyond that, Castle of wearing bib 112 can do well. Now we did see for the Germans earlier, the men, Kaiser doing very well. He was the second to last starter. He could have won the race if he went clear. Could have, should have, would have. It's always the case in biathlon where you could have done better if you had just hit the targets. And when you say that out loud, it implies that it's easy to do, but it most certainly is not. In those moments when you have the opportunity to pull the trigger at the right time and get the aim in the right place, so often it goes wrong. And today these biathletes will be contending with that psychological and physical struggle. Keeping those hands warm is going to be critical. Now wearing the green bib and going to be starting out this competition today, Paola Botte, one of today's favorites, the overall World Cup leader, IBU Cup leader, and now Paola Botte is underway for the women's 15-kilometer individual. For every miss, there will be 1 minute of penalty added on to their times. So the importance really being honed in on getting those targets down. Daria Gębicka of Poland is the second starter to get underway at this Open European Championships here in Sjusjøen, Norway. Just a 25-minute drive away from Lillehammer. Gębicka, prone 80% hit rate and 76% hit rate. That was in 2025. Let's see what she is able to muster today. Siva Klemencic. She speaks Slovenian, English, German, and she enjoys stacking firewood, school, and hanging out with friends. And now Julia Kink finding her skis. The skis, of course, being handed in and tested to make sure that they're all using the appropriate wax. Valeria Dmitrenko of Ukraine now about to get started for her competition. She raced on the World Cup just last week in the single individual and only missed one target, ranking 39th. And with that kind of shooting today, there's every chance that Dmitrenko can get herself into the top 10, perhaps even better with a clear. And if you're capable of 19 out of 20, you're definitely capable of 20 out of 20. Lidela of Latvia now getting started and coming off the back of a mass start 60 in Imatra. 21st on that occasion, 5 mistakes, and of course that's a 4 shooting biathlon race, so prone, prone, stand, stand. Today is prone, stand, prone, stand. Iva Moric of Croatia. She's also just come off the back of 2 World Cup races, a sprint in Ruhpolding, where she finished 86th with 1 penalty, and a short individual in Novo Mesto na Morave with an 83rd place. That was with 5 penalties. And now Julia Kink of Germany, 22 years of age. She has raced on the World Cup. Similarly, she was in Novo Mesto na Morave last week ranked 77th with 8 penalties. But she's got a pretty average 78% hit rate, 18 World Cup starts. But 78% just isn't enough to relax the spectator into thinking that all 5 will go down. Reliably, there will be one miss when you have an 78% hit rate. Now, Merkishnia. 179 starts on the World Cup. A seasoned biathlete, lots of experience. But those years of experience have actually seen a decline in accuracy in terms of her prone shooting. In 2023, 89%, now down to 72%, a gradual decline year on year. And then a non-start for Arne Kliev of Norway, who's had 57 World Cup starts. As we get to have a look at Paola Beauté of France, wearing the green bib representing her, leading the overall IBU Cup point standing. And she approaches the first timing checkpoint, which she completes at 4 minutes and 29 seconds. We'll be able to evaluate that for speed as the race evolves, as more biathletes come through. And Beauté is actually the 4th fastest skier on the IBU Cup. Katerina Pavlu of Czechia. She gets started wearing bib number 11. It's been on the IBU Cup all season. Brezno, Arbor, Lenzerheide, Ridnaun, Obertiliac, the full shebang. And of all those races, managed to hit all the targets on 4 separate occasions. 3 sprints and 1 pursuit. So it's one to look out for, with the potential of getting all the targets down and potentially surprising us with a good result. As Remenova gets started. 56 World Cup starts to her name. Best result, 22nd in Oslo in 2024 in the individual. So she likes this discipline. She's capable of a top 30 on World Cup. She's capable of a top 10 here. But those targets have to go down. Those fingers have to stay warm. But Emma Nielsen, the current IBU Cup individual score leader and one of the favorites today. Rarely does Emma Nielsen finish outside the top 10 on the IBU Cup. Most of her races see her hitting 90%, if not shooting completely clear. But what she does lack is that all-important victory. And perhaps today is going to change that for Emma Nielsen. As Sara Andersson gets started, bib number 14. Confidence for Andersson, having come from Torsby, a local Swedish race where she was victorious. 3 penalty loops on that occasion, suggesting that she'll be entering these races with some positivity. As Øygaard approaches the checkpoint to get her timing checks put on, as Stuic gets started. Well and truly capable of hitting every single target in the individual. She did it in Antholz in 2021, shot clear. The first time she shot clear was in Presque Isle at the Junior World Championships. It came out of nowhere, she said. And since then, she's done it plenty. So has a real keen eye for these individual competitions and a keen ability to get the targets down. Kink, 8.1 seconds down off Beauté's time. And to remind you, Beauté, the 4th fastest here, just in terms of the IBU Cup timings. And Julia Kink, 6.8, minus 6.8 per kilometer. And that's expressed as in percent deviation from the average time So the fastest is Sophie Chauveau, minus 9.1. As Paula Beauté comes in for her first prone shoot. And right now, it's all about staying disciplined, staying controlled, and focusing on the process, whatever that is for Beauté. Statistically, she's likely to miss one target. She takes an extra breath to recompose herself. 4.8 seconds to get that fourth shot. And 4 out of 5 for Paula Beauté. Perfectly in accordance with her statistics, but marking the first time of 10 minutes and 4 seconds as she leaves the shooting range. And coming in to the shooting range 20 seconds ahead of Gembika, or 19.1 seconds to be precise. And now, if all 5 targets go down, Gembika will take about a 35-40 second lead. She needs the next 2. It's rapid and it's accurate. Great shooting from Daria Gembika, who shoots all 5 targets down in 32.1 seconds. And then comes out of the range, having shot so quickly, and manages to take a lead of 45 seconds. So yes, she lost 20 seconds on the skiing, but she regained some 6 or nearly 7 seconds just by shooting that little bit faster and hitting the targets, of course. Elsa Bledela of Latvia now. The 21-year-old born in Sjusjøen. And now focusing on improving that 63% hit rate in prone. Last year, it was 80. Last season. It's a good start. 3 for 3. Good. Controlled, measured, consistent between shots as Chauveau gets underway and bursts out of the start line. Sophie Chauveau being one of today's absolute favorites. There's no doubt about it. And now there's a new leader, Bledela. 9 seconds her advantage over Gembika of Poland. So a very good start for her. But there's a new fastest skier out on the tracks at the 1.7 kilometer mark. Sjusjøen of Austria has taken Beauté's time by 2.9 seconds. And the snow is faintly falling, but it does have an impact. As this race evolves, the tracks will quite likely get faster. Julia Kink for Germany. Now that's not a good start for the German. She needed better than 2, but we have seen repeatedly these biathletes with an ability to miss now and then come back and shoot the remaining 15 targets down clear. We saw it with Amelia and Claude on the World Cup. Got into the flower ceremony by that route. And sometimes it can lower the pressure. You're no longer chasing that 20 for 20. But Markushnia now going well. She gets 5 out of 5. 32 seconds the time from getting on the mat to getting off the mat. And now 3.6 seconds down off Bledela of Latvia. Lea Roskop of Austria also skiing very well. Now that's 2 Austrians up at the 1.7 kilometer mark of this 15 kilometer individual who are in the lead in terms of ski speed, and that's ahead of some pretty impressive names such as Emma Nielsen, Andersson, Bote, many, or three of my favorites. So Austria, potentially with some quick skis, as Lydia Mettler, now of Switzerland, gets her first shot down in a slow time of 22.8 seconds. And now she's really having to adjust. It's almost like her left elbow is slipping. Kebinger getting underway. But the targets are going down. Great composure there now from Mettler. She had the discipline to go slow, to compose herself, to get that elbow traction on the mat. And then all of the targets went down. 11 seconds down of Bleidella's time. Bleidella really doing well out the gates. Total, or Remenova now coming in for Slovakia. And Emma Nielsen now also coming into the range. Fichtner of Germany getting started. And she'll be out trying to make good on what she will consider to be a nightmare as Remenova goes clear. Yeah, Fichtner's nightmare on the World Cup, not getting that rifle properly onto her back, and as a consequence being disqualified. And it was also Leonhard Fund of Germany, her teammate, who was also disqualified, but it was the tragic fact that they had technically, physically crossed the line first, but that victory was taken from them as per the rules. Now Emma Nielsen, one of the favorites, if not the favorite for today's race, misses her third shot as Andersson settles down at the top right of your screen, and Emma Nielsen now having to adjust her sight. Gets the last shot. Not the start that Nielsen was looking for, but Andersson the exact same. Now, she's just moved 3 clicks to the right and then immediately undid those clicks and moved 3 clicks left, suggesting the wind is changeable. She gets the remaining 3. Stuic now, a reliable shooter in these individual competitions. Takes her time, 23.9 to the first shot. No adjustments from the Austrian. Excellent. All the targets go down in a nice controlled, if not quite slow manner. 42 seconds is not quick shooting, but if all the targets go down, then one cannot complain too much. 1 second down of Bleidella's time, really just reinforcing how well Bleidella has done getting her form to be this good. And the question remains, has she gone too fast on this first lap, or will she be able to maintain it? Now the fastest skier till this point, despite a lot of the big names who came before her, Rothskopf of Austria. And that looked to me to be a clockwise rotation, meaning she adjusted left. And I love the way that she rolled her shoulder into the rifle to lock it into place, applying the pressure on the left hand and the arm sling. And Voldy Galamas-Paulin just got started, wearing bib number 35 for France, another favorite for today. Oh, 2 misses for Rothskopf. Now she went in fast, 10 seconds faster than Bote to the point of the shooting range just as she entered it. And that begs the question, did she go too fast? Now, Bote is back in, but this time she's shooting stand. She favors stand, 88% hit rate in 2025. 87% hit rate this season. She seems to be having trouble with the recocking mechanism on the rifle. Does a measured pull back and push forward there. And again, a little bit of tension on the recocking mechanism. Misses the last shot, and I do wonder if she had a little bit of irritation there at the fact that when she tried to pull the recocking mechanism back, there was some kind of resistance. But there's the time, 20 minutes, 25 seconds. A time that is likely to be beaten as Siri Skar now of Norway gets started. Lovely technique, getting the foot under the center of mass, allowing her time to stand up over the ski and drive in a nice flowing manner. It's a 15-kilometer, so pacing is absolutely critical. And Daria Gębicka now of Poland, after hitting all 5 targets in prone, has the challenge of trying to get all 5 now in stand. A miss on the third shot will set her back 1 minute as Sophie Chauveau now settles down onto the mat. She takes her time. 4 seconds between shots. A good investment of time. A bit of extra rest, 36.4 seconds. And now the fastest skier on the IBU Cup this season has now hit all 5 targets and is coming out 26.8 seconds in the lead, marking the new fastest time after shoot number 1. Blydella, great performance now. Not only 5 out of 5 in prone, but now 5 out of 5 in stand. And this really is turning out to be a fantastic start for Blydella, who's going to be taking the lead from Gębicka of Poland. But not just taking the lead, but by 1 minute and 41 seconds. She skied 5.9 seconds faster than Beauté on that lap. Quite a remarkable ski speed there, considering she doesn't normally ski with this much punch. Anna Hedström now coming in. One of the favorites. She's currently sitting in 2nd place in the overall individual IBU Cup score, in behind Emma Nilsson, her teammate. She gets the first target down in 15.4 seconds. Takes 2 deep, slow breaths between shots. And now 5 out of 5. Great start from Anna Hedström as Hanaf gets underway for France. And the duo might come out quite close to one another, meaning that they can work together. But 20 seconds now, Hedström is down from Chauveau as she comes out of shoot number 1. Now Merkushnia. Brilliant fast shooting, 2.1 seconds to the last shot, 27.5 in total. It's clean for the first half of her visits to this shooting range. Anastasia Merkushnia, one of the most experienced biathletes with 179 World Cup starts. And Hannah Kebinger now for Germany. It's good, accurate shooting. Until I spoke. And now the final shot goes down. 4 out of 5 for Kebinger. We saw Mettler on the mat trying to get her elbows ready, trying to really build her position in prone. And now it seems like she's doing the same again. She did get all 5 in prone, but she seems a little bit uncomfortable. Whether that's the temperature, it quite possibly could be the case, or just not having so much traction, her elbow to her suit, but something wasn't quite right there. Something wasn't quite right in prone either. But 4 mistakes results in 4 misses. Now, Marlene Fichtner, she was the silver medalist in this race at the Open European Championships last year in Martel Val Martello. She knows how to hit targets and so often clears. And there we go, 5 out of 5, a reliable shot. .4 seconds down, currently sitting in 3rd place. Fichtner as she exits chute number 1. And Fichtner was in the mass start on World Cup, 21st place with 2 mistakes. And now Remenova. It's going well. It's slow, it's calm. Fast last shot for Remenova. 30.2 seconds. Now, I'm always a bit hesitant when I see somebody with a good rhythm suddenly speed up. For it to go from 3.6 seconds to 2.1, it seems rushed. And yes, it's a hit, but is it a good process? Well, perhaps if 2.1's the norm, and she was just inconveniently shooting slower before. But now Samuela Kamola, getting her rhythm, is slightly up and down, but then settles towards the end with 2.8 between the last 2 shots. As Sjusjøen of Austria now in for stand. In 2nd place coming into the range and really taking her time to get the first shot down. That's a good start. Oh, the last 2 don't go down. What a shame for Dunja Sjusjøen of Austria. But now Valdi Galmas Paulin of France. She goes clear. A great start to her race. And now marking the 2nd fastest time, 4.2 seconds off her teammate, Chauveau. But a good margin ahead of Kamola, who just left before her. Apologies for missing that as she went through the checkpoint. Zingerle now shooting fast. Not flustered by that first miss. A good rhythm for the next 3, but the last one adding a whole extra minute to her time. Okay, so in terms of ski speed, Chauveau still marking the fastest first lap, and Galmas Paulin of France in behind her, not just in terms of ski speed, but overall results after chute 1 as well. The duo both having shot clear, but now also skiing very well, as we have Celia Henaf of France, marking the 3rd fastest time to the 1.7 kilometer mark. Now, Paula Beauté adjusts her sights, and there's very little wind to see there, but I imagine she saw the board from her coaches, saw the group was low, and moved the sights up. A Skar now of Norway has a brilliant start, 4 out of 4, 1 remaining. Skar missing the last shot. Beauté now going clear for her 2nd prone shoot. 13 out of 15, 2 minutes added to Paula Beauté's time. But Beauté in 8th place, 2 minutes and 10 seconds down of Blidella's time. Chauveau with her mistake, first mistake of the day. 9 out of 10 for Sophie Chauveau in a time of 30.6 seconds. Certainly is not over. The winner of this race could easily miss one target, if not two. But with every miss, an extra minute of pain to reclaim as the race goes on. Chauveau now, as she comes out of chute number 2 in 2nd place, 16 seconds behind Blidella. Amandine Menjon. Her first 5 of the day going well so far. And she gets them. Great start for Menjon, as Blidella now trying to maintain that perfect shooting. But it's going a little bit awry as only 3 of the targets go down for Blidella, and her incredible start to this race is starting to peter out. As now Kink of Germany coming into the range with her 2 misses is in 2nd position up till this point now. And we know that Blidella has misses, so likely to be deposed by Kink. Anna Hedström now coming in for Sweden. "20 seconds down from Chauveau when she entered the range, but we know Chauveau missed. So far, so good for the Swede, but the 3rd shot doesn't go down. Similar story to Chauveau, 1 mistake for Hedström. Henaf now, 4 out of 4. Having to reload that round, doesn't let it disrupt the rhythm. She gets the 5th shot down. It's slow, but it's accurate. Henaf now in 3rd place, 6.3 seconds back. And it's starting to look like a French championship after chute number 1, with 4 French among the top 5, only being interrupted by Kamola of Italy. As Lea Rofskop enters the range, but we turn our attention to Anastasia Merkushnia. She's gone 10 for 10. She might not be skiing as fast as the rest in the early laps, but on her 3rd lap, she has the 3rd fastest time to speak of at this point. She's shooting fast. Excellent performance from Anastasia Merkushnia. Really delivering on that 179 World Cup starts worth of experience and marking the fastest time by 1 minute and 30 seconds. And now, Girone Guiganat, her brother Antonin Guiganat, winning the individual this morning. They were, of course, on a team together quite recently and won the single mixed relay. Their parents were out to watch on that occasion and are again today. Mikulasova of Czechia now. Two mistakes. And Marlene Fichtner now for Germany in an attempt to maintain her unbelievably good shooting record. 89% hit rate in stand, 87% hit rate in prone. And there it is, 10 out of 10. Great shooting from Marlene Fichtner and great implications for the rest of her race. Marlene Fichtner now comes out of the range, 2.3 seconds down off Blidella's time. Blidella of Latvia, we know, has gone on to miss. So that 2.3 seconds, although is significant now, is not significant later down the line, and Fichtner is technically winning this race. Good shooting from Ussel of Austria. 37.1 seconds. Most biathletes aim to get the targets down in around about 30. We've seen Botten of Norway get the targets down around about 32 seconds, which is on the slower side, but he's accurate and it's effective. Samuela Kamola now in for her second shoot. She gets 5 out of 5, so that's 10 out of 10 for Kamola. It's a really positive start for the Italian. She's got a brilliant time, but a long way to go to get to the checkpoint. 16.9 seconds the advantage for Kamola as she comes out of shooting number 2. And that's after many big names have already come through that point. Kamola, 111 World Cup starts, racing on the World Cup, but seldom penetrating the top 30 on World Cup. Lara Wagner, missing her first shot of the day, one of the most discouraging shots to miss. And with 2 mistakes now, straight out the gates, and what is a fairly average time into the shooting, that's not a good start for the Austrian. 3 minutes 11 back. I say average time into the shooting, it was actually a very impressive time into the shooting, but 49th overall. Now, who is skiing fast out there on the tracks? Sjusjøen, we know, is skiing brilliantly well. Hedström of Sweden is doing fantastic. At the end of shoot number 1, however, Sophie Sjusjøen is in the lead. Vaudier Galmas Paulin of France in second, and Celia Henaf of France in third. Now, those French flags dotting the top of the leaderboards and the result list is likely to be disrupted more and more as the race goes on, but so many of the French, or the Swedish favourites now missing, it suggests that the French are onto a good one. But Guignan now losing 7.1 seconds to her teammate by the first checkpoint. However, she's got the 3rd fastest time to that point. Sjusjøen really was flying out the gates. However, Sjusjøen hasn't maintained that speed lap on lap. Paula Botte now with an opportunity to get 18 out of 20. It is possible that she can claim a victory if she gets all the targets down. But if she misses one, it's very unlikely. Ragnar Fodstad of Norway gets started. Again, trouble with the recocking mechanism of the rifle. She takes more care for the 3rd. The 4th goes down. Trouble on the recocking, but can she get the 5th? She got, oh, fantastic shooting from Botte. And look at that. Everything is now possible for the French women. She can claim a victory or be up there on the podium, but she's relying on others to miss. Setting a time now of 39.14. It's the time to beat Sjusjøen of France in for her 2nd prone. And that's 4 out of 5 for her 2nd prone. She hasn't missed a single prone target today. What shooting from Sophie Sjusjøen. 14 out of 15. And beating Merkushnia's time by 14.3 seconds. We have a new leader at shoot number 3. A miss from Amandine Menjon. 4 out of 5 in stand, 9 out of 10 overall. another contender for the top spots. But the question is, how will Merkushnia fare on this next visit to stand shooting? She's done 3, and she's managed to get 15 targets for 15 so far. Hedström still skiing very quickly for Sweden. And now Celia Hanaf coming in for shoot number 2. Third fastest time upon entering the range, but that immediately flies away as she misses her first shot. 1 minute added onto her time. Oh, make that 2 minutes. Now one of the favorites. Now, we talked about Julia King potentially being able to make a comeback from those 2 early mistakes. Ah, she needed all of the targets to go down, so what a shame as Andreas Bernbacher watches on. 1 miss too many at the end. It was going so well after a pretty poor start. Now, lots of athletes able to work together. As Chloe Dupont of Great Britain is on the left side of your screen. But now Gigonat skiing fast. Somehow, despite skiing fast, is still not quite as close to Chauveau, who's just flying around this course. Taking lots of time to get the first round down. Nearly 20 seconds. So far, so good. Painful end to a good start for Girone Gigonat of France. 8 years younger than her brother who took the victory today, but Merkushnia goes 20-4-20 for Ukraine, and what a performance from her. She came into the range with a 1 minute 6 second advantage over Blidela of Latvia and has left with a 1 minute and 8 second advantage. She's beating Bote by nearly 2 minutes. She is flying, and this is going to be one of the times to beat today. Merkushnia now skiing for a medal. She knows it. But the pressure is no longer going to have any impact on her skiing. Each lap, she's getting slower on the skis. But now Marlene Fichtner, again, ever the reliable shot. Her eyes darting around the range as she looks for the wind flags, identifies changes. No changes to make. She looks one last time before settling in behind the sight. A nice compact position. 21 seconds to get the first shot down. It's slow, it's measured, it's accurate. She needs this last one. She rebreathes. And she gets it. 5.8 seconds to get the last shot, but it was right down the middle. 15 out of 15 from Marlene Fichtner. 0.6 seconds in the lead ahead of Chauveau. 14.9 seconds ahead of Merkushnia, meaning that she can only realistically beat Merkushnia if she gets all the rest of the targets. And then she has to keep at bay Chauveau, who has to this point skied a whole minute faster than her. Now Samuela Camola of Italy makes a 3-click adjustment to the right. Just a little bit scruffy, getting the rear sight cover open. But off to a good start as Emma Nilsson now coming in for her final visit. Be a good result for both of these athletes. Kamola 4 out of 4. She needs the last. And that's 18 out of 20 for Emma Nielsen, and it's 15 out of 15 for Samuela Kamola of Italy. Kamola, one more lap, one more shoot, and she takes the lead ahead of Fichtner, 12.4 seconds in the lead. Emma Nielsen now, after shooting number 4, finds herself in 4th place. 2 minutes and 12 seconds off the lead. She'd be just 12 seconds back from Merkushev. She got all the targets down. That big if, as Monika Hojnisz-Sterega of Poland now, shooting very accurately, skiing well. And there's your miss. Linda Zingerli of Italy. This is her 4th shot. Skiing very well though. And a lot of these times now are getting measured off Kamola's perfect shooting on lap 3, after lap 3, and Fichtner's perfect shooting also. So Paola Bote has really got her work cut out. There's no doubt she's skiing very quickly, but so is Kamola, who is skiing one of the fastest in the field. So Bote now going to have to do something, or have to have done something special on this last lap to preserve her chances of getting a medal. But Paola Bote, wearing bib number 1, has the disadvantage of not knowing the times relative to her. She comes across the line with 18 out of 20. It's a fantastic race. Not the best start, but a brilliant end to it with a clean final 10 shots. And that time is going to be hard to beat, and not many in this field will manage to do it. Emily Ogheim-Kalkenberg. She's not missed today. It's controlled. 4 for 4. Nice. 5 for 5, 10 for 10. It's the perfect start for Kalkenberg. She just needs to stay composed. Now, one of the most impressive performances of the day. Sad to see those 2 mistakes from Elsa Bleidela. She managed to come back with a perfect 5 for 5 in her last shoot, but
Bleidela towards the finish line into a preliminary lead. Just a minute.
what a performance. Sophie Javot having a disaster, and now throwing the rifle on her back. The graphic shows 3 mistakes, but only 1 went white, so I will confirm for you what just occurred when we get clarification. But that's not a good day for Javot. 5 mistakes in total, dropping all the way down to 9th, and that will continue to be beaten. Skiing well, but all of the components need to come together, and today for Javot, at the last opportunity of asking, it did not. Apologies, the graphics are down temporarily, but we're taking a look now at bib number 7. As that was Julia Kink crossing the line. My apologies for the technical issues on the screen. Celia Henaf now of France, hoping to reclaim some of the lost minutes from her first stand, and needing to go perfect. Now this really is opening the door for other names to come through and do well. Kamola still in the lead at the 10.7 kilometer mark. She'll be coming in to shoot soon as Karoline Erdal of Norway gets 8 out of 10 for her first 2 visits to the range. Anna Hedström now, one of the fastest on the skis, and with clean shooting now, could be in with a chance of a podium. It's perfect. 5 out of 5, 18 out of 20 for Hedström.
For a very good position today because her clean shooting will bring her up a lot of places. There's a lot of misses out there.
Anastasia
And she will do
Merkushina now hitting every single target and skiing as if her life depended on it. Fantastic. 48.9 seconds in the lead ahead of Blydela of Latvia. Dropping Beauté of France all the way down to 3rd. Absolutely phenomenal performance from Merkushnia. As usual, 72% hit rate in prone, 84 in stand, and today she made her first clear of the whole season, and she did it at the highest pressure moment. Heda Mikusolova of Czechia coming in for her second prone shoot of the day. Adjusting her sights, perhaps on account of the coaches giving her information. The snowfall that we can see against her suit, not indicating any harsh winds coming from other direction. And Heda Mikusolova now shooting well, 4 for 4. And missing the last shot. A painful error. Arlene Fichtner soon to be coming into the range. Trabucci of Italy now getting 14 out of 15. But 1 minute and 52 seconds back, so skiing slow on, or relatively, as she comes in 9th place after shooting number 3. Emma Nielsen now coming in towards the finish for her. Currently leading the overall points for the individual competition. Got off to a rough start with 2 mistakes, but now coming in towards the line, 1 minute, 47 seconds and counting. And she crosses 151 back, 4th place. She'll be disappointed, but she should be pleased to have reclaimed those last 15 shots. Lisa Maria Spark of Germany hasn't missed yet today. And there's your first. A reset is required. 3 misses in a row. And in the space of just 8 or 9 seconds, 3 minutes has been added onto her time. Samuela Kamola now shooting for clean. Now shooting for the victory. Can she do it? There's a miss. Ah, 19 out of 20. She's going to be down, but the question is, can she reclaim any of that time on the skis? She's skiing very quickly. Voldy Galmas-Paulin. She needs these targets to go down. Last one. And she gets it. Fantastic shooting. 18 out of 20. And Galmas-Paulin leaves the shooting range. 38.9 seconds down. Only 3 seconds behind Fichtner, who's missed 1. What a shame for Fichtner, but looking very, very promising for Merkushnia, whose time is somewhat protected now. Kamola is on the hunt now for Merkushnia's time. Anna Hedström. Another one who's eyeing up that flower ceremony. Leaving the range, 1 minute and 12 seconds back. And it appears as though Merkushnia has found something on that final loop and is managing not only to maintain it, but to keep, in fact, gaining time over Hedström. Now, Kamola is the 7th fastest time on lap 1, 2, 3. Second fastest lap time on lap 4, and I suspect will be one of the fastest on the last. Whereas you have to scroll down to find Merkushnia. 30 seconds down, 28 seconds down on Kamola's time, just on lap 4 alone, suggesting that Kamola absolutely can claw back this time on Merkushnia. The question is, how much did Merkushnia give on that final lap? And so far, based on Hedström losing time to Merkushnia, I think she might be skiing quick. Sophie Chauveau, a disastrous last visit to the range. She was shooting for a medal, and now she crosses the line in a disappointing 9th. She will be disappointed. Now, Emily Ågheim Kalkenberg of Norway. She's gone clean so far. She's behind in terms of ski speed up until this point. Looking good for the Norwegian. 4 out of 4. 5 out of 5. That's 15 out of 15 for Kalkenberg. And it's starting to look good. But again, the ski speed. She's 35th fastest skier on the third lap. But there's Fichtner flying through the checkpoints now. Fichtner in 2nd place, behind Merkushnia, but still has Kamola to come and do her damage on that last checkpoint before the finish. Trabucci of Italy making 2 adjustments left and right, or right then left. Nordqvist of Sweden shooting fast at the top right screen. There's her first miss. And there's her second. Trabucci of Italy now, 14 out of 15. But Anna Hedström, the amount of time that Anna Hedström has lost to Merkushnia on this last lap will indicate how fast Merkushnia is skiing.
Hedström will take that 3rd spot for the moment.
And Hedström fighting for a top 6 right now, protecting her 5th place, now 6th place as Galmasi Paulon has come through. But she's coming for the final 10 meters, crosses the line, 1 minute and 19.9 seconds down. She's in 3rd place at this moment, in ahead of Bote. Karolina Erdal of Norway. A lovely rhythm between shots. A deep breath, a half breath, exhale, 50%, fire. 1 minute and 55 back, 12th place for Erdal. But when you look at the names in front of Erdal, who have had significant misses, 1 minute and now to Girone Giganat. She missed in her first prone. She hasn't missed again since. Good shooting from Giganat. 42.8 seconds. It's slow shooting, but it's accurate. 5th place after shoot number 3. Now it's really getting intense. At the 13.7 kilometer mark, Kamola has closed the gap to 7.9 seconds on Merkushnia. Kamola leaving the shooting range with 17.8 seconds back. And now Marlene Fichtner, who was 3rd leaving the range, has to fight for absolutely every single second here to get a medal. She got silver here last year in the Open European Championships in Martel. Can she better it today? It's 11.6 seconds down, currently in 2nd place. A place she is familiar with, but will it withstand Kamola, the Italian's last lap charge? Beatrice Trabucci of Italy now coming in for her final stand of the day. And if she can get these targets down, she can be in with a chance of being in the flower ceremony. So far, so good. 4 out of 4. Last shot. Ah, she gets it. Great discipline there. Rifle thrown on the back. 19 out of 20. As Koski misses her 2nd shot of the day. And now let's turn our attention to Kamola, who rounds the final bend. And now has to give it absolutely everything. She's fighting for a medal, but what color will it be? It's not going to be gold. She needs to get this for silver. And she's 3 seconds down, in ahead of Marlene Fichtner of Germany. And in ahead of Galmace Paulin of France, who is in 3rd place. Having missed 2, only 1.8 seconds back. A sprint finish that in a time trial turned out to be a sprint finish in reality. They were just separated by 1.8 seconds. Galmace Paulin had caught up with Kamola and they were skiing together. So the difference really was just who crossed the line, because Galmace Paulin, although skiing a minute faster, shot 1 extra miss. Wow, the top 3 separated by 4.8 seconds. Amandine Menjon of France now in 5th place, 35.8 seconds down. She's behind Fichtner. Fichtner was 11.6 seconds down. She's out of the medals. 11.6 back and being out of the medals. That's painful. Marika Braun was going well. A hiccup with the recocking, but she gets the last shot. Good composure. 18 out of 20 for Braun. Chloe Levens now 19 out of 20 with a great result today. Exceptional accuracy and searching for that top 12. She gets it 12th right now. What a brilliant race. But she was only 0.3 of a second ahead of Zingerli of Italy. So every pole plant, every strike of the foot matters. And Merkushnia would have been biting her fingernails watching that sprint finish. 3 all within a possibility of catching her. And now, looking down the order, it's looking unlikely anyone else can do it. Leonie Pizzer gets 5 out of 5 in her second stand shoot. And Merkushnia really does look strong for a gold medal now. Her best ever result on the World Championships was in the pursuit in 2017 in Hockfilsen. She came 8th. In fact, 4 of her 5 top best results have been at the World Championships. There's Hockfilsen, Östersund. In the individual, she came 10th. She had a 10th in the pursuit at the World Cup in Lenzerheide in 2024. You have to go back to 2017 in the World Champs in Hockfilsen. She had a 10th and an 11th in the World Champ in Antolz. But now it could very well be an Open European Championships gold medal for Merkushnia. Andrea Mezdrea. Going for 19 out of 20. A shame to drop 2 targets right at the end of the race. Now Amandine Menjon of France coming in to finish. She was at 5th at the 13.7 kilometer mark. And Fichtner was 11 seconds ahead. Surely she can't reclaim that amount of time. She won't. And now 24.1 seconds back. 5th place. And Henaf of France with 3 mistakes, 53.7 seconds off the lead. And so many. 7, all within a minute. Quite a rare sight in an individual. Martina Trabucci, one of the few who can upset that top 7. At the finish line, Henaf is 53.7 seconds down. And there's a miss that is going to make that almost impossible, if not totally impossible now with a second. 2 minutes added to her time, and it crumbles down at the final moment of asking for Martina Trabucci. It was going so well. On the World Cup in Canmore, in the mass start, Trabucci came 13th place in 2024. Carolina Erdal now, hoping for 18 out of 20, 90% hit rate. Nothing to scoff at, 90% being among the very best. Before this race, Marlene Fichtner, 50 out of 50, 100% hit rate. Now Carolina Erdal taking her time to get to that 3rd shot, 4.6 seconds, but then in a hurry to get the 4th, and likewise for the 5th. A pause in between, and then rapid fire. Now, could this be the upset of the day? Girone Guigonat of France. She starts with a miss. And now can only hope for a top 10. But she needs the rest of these targets to go down. And that's already now hoping for a top 20 will be optimistic. And to go from being a contender to win a race to being outside the top 20 or top 15 is quite extraordinary. Now, 4 minutes and 7 seconds back and counting. That places her around about Kebinger of Germany, 20th place. An unfortunate end to a great start for Guigonat, and what a story that would have been. as the snow falls a little bit more heavily now. Sandra Belina of Latvia pulling out an incredibly impressive performance. With a miss. And with that miss, an 18 out of 20, her hopes for a top 10 are scorched. Beatrice Trabucci now with 19 out of 20, coming in towards the line. She's fighting for that top 10 with Nielsen and Hedstrom. It's going to be quite likely sandwiched in between them. But she lost time towards the finish. 11th place, still manages to stay in ahead of Kink, only by 2.2 seconds. Annie Koski,
just ahead of
4 minutes 43 seconds down.
It seems like
And in a lot of pain.
Ukraine, Italy, France.
And that is the nature of this sport. Something that you forget until you get back out on the skis and start pushing. How unbelievably much it hurts. But let's take a look now at what looks to be a fixed intermediate result. Anastasia Merkushnia winning with perfect shooting. Samuela Kamola missing at the last time of asking, but in second. And Voldy Galmasse Palant in third. Very low prone position for Merkushnia. And what a fantastic result. She performs at her best at big events. All 4 of her top 5 results are at World Championships events. And Brown, now one of the possible athletes who could upset things with her 2 misses. It won't be today, but 13th place, it's not bad. Lisa Maria Spark, struggling in the stand, excelling in the prone. Now looking further down the order as we turn to Nezia Kubinic of Poland. Kastel of Germany is in 12th place at the end of shooting number 2. She still hasn't missed the target. So although she's already lost a minute to the halfway point, she could do well today and potentially get into the top 8, or 7. That's the worst way to end an individual. 3 mistakes on the last visit. You have to have a little bit of sympathy for Chauveau to miss 4 on the last visit to the range. 4 minutes added onto your time is painful. And it's costly. She's down in 19th place. And that's despite having the fastest course time. Fastest course time belonging, the top 3 belonging to French. Hanaf in second. Galamas Paulot in third. And then Roskop of Austria in 4th and Komoda in 5th. Ika Solova in 6th. And now let's take a look at Pitzer of Austria. Doing well. It's lovely controlled shooting. It's 15 for 15. Excellent. One more to go. She's taking her time, 37.6 seconds. And she's in 11th place at the end of shoot number 3. So now into the finish. We have perfect clean shooting from Kalkenberg. 0-0-0-0 on the day. And here to cause an upset to the top 10. 1 minute and 3 seconds back. 8th place for Kalkenberg. Absolutely phenomenal accuracy to get all the targets down. Very few have done it. As Annie Lind coming off the back of a recent podium on the IBU Cup in the mixed, single mixed relay. And Martina Trabucci. I can't help but imagine if she just cleared all those targets, she'd be fighting. She'd be fighting for a top 6. But now Martina Trabucci is coming in with 4 penalties and a time behind of 3 minutes and 57 seconds.
For Martina, the youngest Trabucci.
Carolina Erdal of Norway now, doing a free skate under the bridge and then a powerful doppeldans, as they say in Norway, before rounding this final bend. Bib number 62 starting a bit further back, likely to her advantage, but trying to get in under 2 minutes and 10 seconds back in ahead of Brown. And there we go, 14th place. Norway needed that. Their best result of the day from Kalkenberg, hitting the perfect 20 out of 20. And now Kamila Kiszon of Poland gets 19 out of 20. Absolutely excellent shooting there. It's clean, it's quick, and that error in the first prone is just unfortunate when the rest of the rhythm comes together like that. Really impressive there from Kiszon of Poland. 12th place. Another one breaking into the top 15.
Who will fight for a top 25th position right now? She's number 25.
And there we would have had Gigana way in the lead had she managed to get those targets down. Such a shame and such a disaster to fall apart at the very end. But now here is where I am excited to see what's possible. It's certainly not going to be a win, but all the targets have gone down thus far. And it's looking really good. 15 for 15 for Selina Marie Castle. She's getting the targets down clean, getting it down accurate. She's in 9th place as she comes out of shoot number 3, 124 back. But I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but her ski speed is around about the 54th fastest currently. 56th on lap 1, 51st on lap 2, 55 lap 3. All around about 50 seconds. So she is losing 50 seconds per lap. The good news, however, is that is to Chauveau, and Chauveau has missed.
Started great, and then 2 minutes in total, and she's fighting against
Bulina now of Latvia coming across the line in an impressive 22nd. 2 mistakes on the day.
22nd place for Bulina.
So Kassel of Germany likely to lose just another 1.5 to 2 minutes just in terms of ski speed before this race is all said and done. But if she gets all the targets down, we could be looking at a top 15. Ilaria Scatolo. Four out of 5. 18 out of 20 in a time of 39.8 seconds. And in 32-second, Scatolo of Italy there's a lot of work to do now on this last lap. And these cold, biting temperatures, minus 13, is unpleasant to say the very least. And now, Alicia Lager, wearing bib number 77, coming towards the checkpoint. 21 years of age, has been racing in Imatra, where she finished 9th in the sprint with 1 mistake, but now currently sitting in 23rd and going strong. In the pursuit in Arbor, she was pulled out for getting lapped, but now performing really well as Leonora Ronhede of Denmark is coming in with the perfect 15 for 15, and then 3 misses on the last visit. What a shame, but an impressive effort from the Dane, who is now coming towards the sprint finish. 5 minutes and 6 seconds and counting. So she's now fighting for a position in the early 40s. It's the final drive before the line, crossing at 5 minutes and 22 seconds back. Runhede should be pleased with that. A lot to learn from the 3 mistakes at the end. But every single race is an opportunity. There's nothing worse than hearing somebody say, put it behind you. Of course, there's merit in putting things behind you, but you can always look at things that are behind you and learn from them. If there's no lessons to be learned from a race, no matter how bad it is, then that's not the right mindset for a learning biathlete. Now, Arina Kryukova, Kazakhstan. At the top right of your screen, we have Anhaus, who's missed 5 till this point, and make that 6. And Kryukova finishing the shooting part of this race with a total of 3 mistakes. And now Anhaus needs to get this last shot. Can she do it? Unfortunately not on this occasion. She misses 1, 2, 2, and then finally 3. And Vilma Anhaus will be dissatisfied with that for sure. But there's so much information that can be derived from these races, as Leonie Pitzer is clean so far. She's got a ways to go until she gets to the shooting range. As you can see, this lovely wide track underneath the walking bridge. And this lovely 40-lane range here in Sjusjøen at the Natrostillen Stadium. One of the most beautiful places, summer and winter. And now an opportunity for Leonie Pitzer of Austria to improve on her 18th place. Now we know a lot of people have come into the range and missed, who are coming into shoot number 4 ahead of her. So that means there is an opportunity for Leonie Pitzer to climb inside the top 10. But she absolutely must go clean if she wants that to come true. And she starts with a miss. Doesn't let it phase her. She gets on to the second shot, misses the 4th. And those 2 minutes are going to be incredibly costly. She was so calm on the recocking mechanism. She was so unfazed by the miss, but perhaps trying to be relaxed rather than being relaxed. 3 minutes, 26 seconds back. Could have been 1 minute and 26. A luxury that only commentators and fans get to imagine nothing worse for a biathlete than to take off the number of misses in terms of minutes and look at where they could have been or would have been or should have been if circumstances were otherwise, when the reality is for the athlete, the circumstances were not otherwise. And indulging in that thinking can be really distracting for a biathlete's process. It can prevent them from properly scrutinizing the why. Why did it go wrong? Or what went right? Instead thinking, oh, I could have been top 10 if I hit 19 out of 20 or 20 out of 20. It's not useful. Now, Kamila Kichon of Poland. 19 out of 20. And really working hard to get into the top 20. Looks like she's going to manage.
Kamila Sjusjøen from Poland to the
she manages to slip into 17th place, 2 minutes and 25 seconds down. One mistake when all was said and done, and joins one of many who have managed 19 for 20. But only 3 have gone clear. As for those who didn't have the best day out there, who I thought could do well, we've got Nordqvist, who's 65th at the finish line. She missed 7 today. Skar of Norway, 1-1-1, then 3 on the last shoot. She's down in 59th. Roskopf of Austria, 7 mistakes, skied really well to begin with, but down in 52nd. Spark of Germany, 48th with 5 mistakes. And now a chance to have a look at Osterman, who got in a bit of a tangle there with her gloves, clearly fighting hard to keep her fingers warm in these brutally cold conditions. But I can't say that that is helping her, particularly with the handling of the rifle. Nevertheless, it's a perfect clean shooting in the final 5. 18 out of 20, 31.1 seconds when all is said and done, as Erika Osterman now fights for her top 40. And all these results are relative. A top 40 for a Brit might be absolutely phenomenal. A top 40 for a Swede might not be, but it's subjective to the individual. But let's take a look now as Selina Marie Kastel of Germany goes for 20 for 20. Can she be the 4th to do it today? Ah, she misses the second last. 19 out of 20. What a shame. It was going so well. And still, if at the start of the day somebody said, hey, do you want 19 for 20? Most biathletes would bite your hand off for that. Scatolo, now of Italy.
Nach dem letzte Schießen. Ilara Scatolo from Italy towards the finish line. Fighted and had a great
just
start.
Managing to get herself into 34th. She's been racing at the Junior World Championships last year. She's 21 years of age, so still a junior. Mirkishnia saying it was really hard, and we can absolutely believe that. As Emma Cheplokova, Schlepkova, I should say, when pronounced correctly, now coming in with very fast, aggressive shooting. Can she get the last one? She can. Now that is impressive. Done in style. 17 out of 20, but closing off her visit to this very cold shooting range here in Sjusjøen in this individual, Emma Chepkova manages to get out of the range with a perfect 5 for 5. 5 minutes, 4 seconds back, top 50. And now having to find something special on that last lap to do her European Championship appearance justice. Now let's take a look at the overall results today. The top three will not change. Here's your winner, Anastasia Merkushnia, with the perfect 20 for 20. Samuela Kamola in second with silver medal, and she went 19 for 20. And Galmas Paulin of France with 18 out of 20 comes in third. All of whom were only separated by a mere 5 seconds. And for those who are departing at this moment, I've been Scott Dixon. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring the races to you. But do join us for the rest of the race to see how it unfolds, but also for the rest of the week. We've got lots of events coming up, with the exception of tomorrow, where we have a day off. But then on the 30th, we have the men's 10-kilometer sprint, the women's 7.5 kilometer sprint. The day after that, on the 31st, we have the men's 12.5k pursuit, the women's 10k pursuit. The day after that, we have the men's 4 times 7.5 kilometer relay and the women's 4 times 6 kilometer relay at this Open European Championships here in Sjusjøen, Norway, where we can expect to see more drama. And what a lot of drama we saw today in these absolutely phenomenal races. Merkushnia was foreshadowing success early on in the race, but just not letting us believe it was possible until some of the big names dropped off towards the end. The most notable among them, Sjusjøen of France, just at the last time of asking, falling short of the standard she's capable of. Merkushnia taking that win, but only by 3 seconds over Kamola, who came out of the range 17.8 seconds down and was gaining and gaining and gaining. But kept at bay, Kamola wins the silver medal, and Galmas Paulin of France takes the bronze. There's Merkushnia's low prone stance. Low and effective. Gold medal worthy effective. Selina Marikastel, now of Germany, with the disadvantage of a very, very late start. Now feeling somewhat lonely out there on the course, suffering, but it's not in vain. 22nd place right now, with 1.5 kilometers to go, or 1.3 kilometers to go, or thereabouts. Leonie Pitzer, another one who could have got the perfect 20. I keep saying could have, again indulging in that language, whereas the athletes don't get to do that. I'm sure they do in private when they look at their results and think, I could have got 10th, I could have got 5th. But Pitzer, just at the final stand, falling short of the standard she knows she could have delivered today. But a great result, nonetheless. One of Pitzer's best results this season. And Barbara Skrobiskielska, 18 out of 20.
Barbara Skrobiskielska from Poland now soon to the finish. 2 minutes extra on her additional time today. In front here.
And now, as she comes in towards the finish,
All the way
The fans go absolutely wild, and I think that might be for the Australian just behind, and I'll try and work out exactly who that is. But now, Sjusjøen of Poland coming towards the finish line with a good time, 4 minutes and 38 and counting, getting herself a 36th place today, likely not to change much. Of course, we still have Kastel of Germany to come through. And there are still other biathletes out there in the mix.
Janice Grundal from Canada or for Canada.
And Moon of Australia receiving a lot of support on the track with only 4 penalties today. 85th, a good race for her. And now Erika Osterman, another who will drop Sjusjøen's time at the finish line, or will be competing for it. I take that back, she will not be. She will certainly be beaten by, but with 1-1-0-0, it's good shooting from the Swede. Now Osterman is really attacking towards the line. She had a victory in Torsby, just racing last week before this, in a 2nd place. And now today, 5 minutes, 12 seconds off the lead, 46th place. A different feel, a different vibe to the Torsby race. And Selina Marie Kastel of Germany doing well to get herself into 25th. And of course we speculated what could have been had she got the perfect shoot, and it would have been around about 10th. She'd have been fighting for Beauté's time, and I do reckon that with a perfect 20 for 20 you can find something a little bit more special on the last lap. So that 4 seconds behind Beauté could have been 1 second ahead of Beauté. But there, nevertheless, she was down in 25th, but a great result. She's usually around about that result on the IBU Cup. 25, 21, 27, 34, 25, 27. It's there or thereabouts, but today it was against a tougher field at the European Championships. It's always a step up. And now let's take a look at Člepková of Canada. 1-1-1, and that fantastic, audacious and confident 0 on the final stand shoot. Her last international race in Sjusjøen, that was last year for the Junior World Championships. 22 years of age. Člepková now coming in towards the finish line, really working hard and earning herself a fantastic result she should be proud of. 55th. Now that is absolutely fantastic. Exhausted. A well-earned rest tomorrow. And a reminder of the schedule. Tomorrow is a day off, but thereafter there's 3 consecutive days of racing per sprint, pursuit, relay. Do join us for that. Merkushnia taking the gold today, perfect 20 for 20. Samuela Kamola, 2nd place, and Galmas Paulin of France in 3rd. Paula Beauté wearing the green bib. She's dropped down. So soon we'll have the flower ceremony, the medal ceremony, I should say. Constantina Charalampidou has managed to get the 20 out of 20 today, one of the few who have managed. And Dupont of Great Britain with 6 penalties on the day. 9 minutes and 24 back in 82nd place. Caldwell of Great Britain missing 3. 8 minutes and 9 seconds back. 78th place. As we take a look at the last skiers now out on the course. Of course, the prize giving ceremony doesn't take place until all skiers have finished.
Anastasia, what a day. After the silver and bronze medal in previous years in the individual race, you're now a European champion. How does it feel?
Amazing, you know, amazing. I'm on the 7 in heaven. I think, yeah, little bit feels like it's impossible, like it's a dream, but yeah, I'm really happy.
I see you are happy. Did you have a moment day?
Still a few athletes left out
I think
there
no.
on the tracks,
You know, when you
before the
race, you
results
think
and
only
then
how to survive first of all, and then that you have one more lap, one more shooting. That you need to concentrate. You need to think about what you're doing. Concentrate. A lot of things can happen during the race. So no, I didn't even thought that I could win.
Describe the emotion, what went through your mind when you realized you're a European champion.
I just cramped, you know. I think a lot of wax cabins hear that, because I thought, okay, this is good race, but there's a lot of good people here. I'm just a 8th start position, probably not, probably podium. And then I realized, and like, it's game changing for me now, actually, for today, actually. So yeah. Emotions were like a wave coming in my head, and I realized that it's really true. It's not a dream.
And maybe is there a party this evening?
I don't know. We have one of teammates have birthday today, so probably it will be party. And I don't want it to be about me, but more about him, of course, because birthday is a big party. But we'll celebrate anyway. Maybe not now, but maybe in spring. But for sure we will celebrate.
Congrats again and enjoy this moment.
Thank you so much.
Well, it will be a very well-earned celebration. A very unexpected victory, and to claw that victory by a mere 3 seconds is something special, particularly in an individual when the stakes are so high for hits and misses. Third fastest time on the course today was Delmas Paulin of France, 14 seconds slower than Chevaux. Delmas Paulin finishing in 3rd overall. As we have our attention on Kira Sweik. And now Maria Polyaeva of Kazakhstan, finishing her race, wearing bib number 110. So starting quite far back. We've seen Castle starting behind her and finished some time ago. And we've seen the last bib, Schlepkova, having completed. Lots of DNSs today. 8 in total, including Onikliev, one of the favorites, or one of my favorites. And then Maria Polyaeva of Kazakhstan is closing up her race, a powerful sprint finish.
At
Towards the finish line, Maria Poljaeva from Kazakhstan.
And Poljaeva now coming across the line, 15 minutes, 29 seconds, in 98th place. So getting inside the top 100. And collapsing in pain. And now, Barbara Gonzalez Opazo of Chile, protecting her face with the physio tape. And the opportunity now, while the cameras are on and all eyes are on her, to get this process down. She managed it on the prone just before this visit, but now with 3 mistakes, and now 4 mistakes and needing to load a spare, it's a painful end to the race. But every performance is relative. And look at the success that Gonzalez Opazo had on the second prone shooting. She hit all 5 targets, and that is something that hopefully her coaches can hone in on and really derive positivity from it. 8 out of 10 on prone to date for this athlete, and that is a successful performance, perhaps relative to what she was expecting, and a good achievement at this top level. All biathletes have different goals, and it's the responsibility of the staff around them to make sure that their goals are within reach, that they're achievable and realistic, so that when you achieve them, you get those micro positive experiences rather than feeling like you're always way, way, way out of reach. And we're going to be taking a look now. Chloe Levins of USA, great result if you're watching this from USA, and keeping your eyes on the American and Canadian and British performances. So we'll point those out now as we go down through the order. And, well, we're no longer going down through the order, so I will just manually do that for you. And in 35th, we have Goling of Canada, 19 out of 20, only missing in the first visit. Voldy Galmas Paulon of France. Third place today. Misses coming from the 2 middle visits to the range. Started out clear, finished clear. And Samuela Kamola really pulled something special out the bag today. She shot clear in Brezno, in Orzabli, in the sprint competition. Finished 3rd on that occasion, and then 6th the next race in the Mass Start 60. Again, a format, if you're not familiar, that one day will make itself onto the IBU Cup. What it will replace is as yet unknown. And here is your gold medalist, Anastasia Merkushnia, who claims to have nearly deafened half of the people in the wax cabins as she screamed in celebration for her victory. An unbelievably well-earned victory, one that we were just waiting to fall away as somebody got in ahead of it, which they kept on doing. Merkushnia was in 4th at the end of shooting number 3. Merkushnia was in 6th at the end of shooting number 2. Merkushnia was in 15th at the end of shooting number 1. It just kept getting better and better for Merkushnia as the other athletes missed targets, and that's what these races are all about. Hitting those targets, the costly 1-minute penalty being extremely significant. Natalia Ayalo Lazo of Chile, 4.334. And without knowing what Ayala Lazo's performances are on a regular basis, it's unclear what positivity can be derived from that. It's quite possible that managing to get 2 targets and stand for Ayala Lazo is actually a real success, and that's so important. Under these extremely arduous conditions, just getting around this course, it might be an achievement. As I know myself, completing a 15-kilometer now would be pretty arduous. And good free skating there as she comes in towards the finish line.
Yeah, now we should cheer for
Managing to stand up tall on that left ski, and a good impact with her arms
from Chile.
as she's driving towards the finish.
The second last athlete at this
And only one more
individual
athlete to
finishing
come
her
across the
race.
line after Ayala Lazo does. And this is one of the things we celebrate in biathlon in these races, is that we
Great
welcome
style, good technique. She
athletes from
crosses
around the
the
world
finish
to come and
line.
participate,
In this
come and
moment,
experience it. And
another Chilean
it's
athlete.
so cool to see the organizers all waiting for the biathletes to come across the line after this immense achievement that they have done for themselves, and only then will the medal ceremony be conducted, which I hope you're able to stay around for. But if you are thinking about getting away early or have things to do, then of course a reminder that tomorrow there are no races, but then on the 30th, we have the 10K men's sprint and the 7.5K women's sprint. All the timings available in the IBU app, or you can just look at the Eurovision app where you can watch this, and you will be able to get the timings there. Then the following races will be the pursuit competitions the next day for the men and women. And the final day of racing, the exciting day of racing, is going to be, or the most exciting perhaps, is the men and women's relay competitions. Gonzalez Apazo now on her final charge towards the line, doing the offset V1 technique and really driving on her left side lead. A good technique. A lot of the fundamentals are in place technically, and a lovely rhythm as well. around that corner, the track starts to undulate, a few bumps, before a hard right-hand bend, leading into the steepest uphill of the track, where all these biathletes have had to suffer up 5 times today in order to complete the race. Roll up. Waiting for the prize-giving ceremony to collect her silver medal. She's been on the podium recently. Back in Brezno, she got the perfect 10 out of 10 in the sprint. The last time she had 10 out of 10 was the sprint in Östersund on the World Cup, 22nd place on that occasion. Pursuit in Oslo, where she finished 9th on the World Cup in 2025, end of last season. 27-year-old, she's a talented biathlete. Speaks Italian, French, English, loves movies. And here is the deconstruction of the shooting range. No one else to go through there. 40-lane range. And those alpine slopes, excellent for skiing up and down if you're fit enough to do it. It's pretty steep. Barbara Gonzalez Opazo has competed in 3 races this season. In the IBU Cup in Arbor, in Brezno. A short individual missing 8, pretty good. In the sprint missing 8, not as good. In the sprint in Brezno, missing 5, 50%. 21 years of age. Well, while we wait for her to come in, I can inform you that there are those with birthdays today. Should have mentioned it earlier, but Julia Kink of Germany, 22 years old. Born on the 26th of January, 2 days ago. And today we have Roman Borovyk of Ukraine celebrating that with Merkushnya's win today. I think it's going to be a lively atmosphere in the Ukraine. of her prone shooting today. 80%, that should be celebrated, and 20% in the stand, that should be investigated to some extent. Of course, it's hard, and we have to learn, but we also have to take credit where credit's due. 80% in prone without an abundance of experience is very impressive. And big congratulations now to Gonzalez Opazo for completing this women's 15-kilometer individual competition. And there you have it. And you've seen it before. Those results are unofficial, while the opportunity is available for teams to submit any protests, which they have an hour window to do, after which point these results become official. But in the meantime, the results are going to be, or the medals are going to be given out, and they are going to go to a very deserving Ukrainian Merkushnia. 31 years of age. So do join us to celebrate that success in just a moment.
And that flag becoming something of a symbol of freedom, a symbol of success, and Merkushnia can wear that proudly over her shoulders as she stands atop the podium. Doing her country extremely proudly. As the team stands around the podium, ready to celebrate her success. Some notable results today that surprised me. Bridella, 6th place in the flower ceremony, 48.9 seconds back with 2 penalties. I mean, no, she does ski fast. but not that fast. So that was impressive. She found something special today. She's been on the IBU Junior Cup. She's been on the World Cup. So quite a contrast. Not racing on the IBU Cup per se. Only 21 years of age. So a talent for the future. World Cup starts, just 15. But Elsa Bledela
has got an engine. And I'm curious to see where she can go from here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the medal and prize giving ceremony for IBU Open European Championship, women 15 kilometers individual. Third place and bronze medalist, representing France,
Wodia Galmas-Paulin of France stands proudly on the podium to receive her bronze medal after skiing the third fastest time of the day, but the fastest among those on the podium. A well-earned victory, and I suspect we'll see this lady on the podium once again before this Open European Championships is done. Samuela Kamula, a silver medal, hitting all but one target on the day. She's no stranger to the highest level of performance, but she's never podiumed on the World Cup. The World Champs, 4th place in Oberhof in 2023 in the individual. She likes this race, but not as much as Merkushnia, who now stands atop the podium, the victor of today's individual at this Open European Championships. Gold medalist, and every single visit to the range, she was in 15th, then 6th, then 4th, just climbing higher and higher. And all of those around her fell by the wayside, missing targets, one here and there. And that's all it took for her to claim the victory today by 3 seconds over Kamola, by 4.8 seconds over Galmas-Paulin, 11.6 ahead of Fichtner, 24.1 over Mongeon, and Bledela 48.9 seconds back. What a race. Fichtner was 2nd this year in this race, now 4th. Amandine Mengon. Now Bledela. What a race from her. I imagine the 21-year-old will be featuring more and more with time. Now their hands are going to get a little bit cold holding all this fresh fruit. If you ever put fruit in the freezer and brought it out and it is a little bit bruised, well, it's -13 right now, so it is in a freezer. And when that gets heated up, I hope it still does well and is edible. But isn't that a nice gift to receive instead of a bottle of wine, although I'm sure many would appreciate that. And there it is. I thank you for watching, and I hope that you will take part and watch over the rest of the weekend. Tomorrow's a day off, and then 3 consecutive days of excitement. I've been Scott Dixon. It's been an absolute pleasure talking these races through with you today, and I look forward to more excitement in the days to come.